No one was truly ready for this confession. Even armies who have followed Jungkook and Taehyung's journey from the beginning fell silent when those words were spoken. Amidst his busy solo career in the United States, Jungkook finally uttered something he had long kept inside, and not a single person could have guessed that the statement would shake the emotional foundation of BTS that had always seemed so solid on the surface. Taehyung, he hid everything. "I just found out," Jungkook said quietly, in a tone that brought the entire room to silence. That sentence came out not during a planned live broadcast, nor from a prepared script. It happened instead when the camera wasn't fully focused and the atmosphere was relaxed, and the sentence slipped out without warning. Yet its resonance ran deeper than anything Jungkook had ever said before. What truly shocked the world was what happened afterward. Within seconds, thousands of ARMY accounts shared clips of the confession. What did Taehyung hide? Was the first question to appear in everyone's mind. A simple question, but with a wide range of emotional and profound possibilities. A few hours after the statement circulated, the internet exploded. Fanbase accounts, discussion forums, and even Korean and international media began to dissect the last few interactions between Jungkook and Taehyung. The focus shifted to Taehyung's recent behavior, especially during his attendance at a fashion event in Paris. Amid the crowd and camera flashes, Taehyung appeared elegant as always. But there was one thing he couldn't hide: the empty look in his eyes and a smile too thin to be called genuine. That night, Taehyung posted a short, piercing message. "Sometimes it's easier to fake a smile than to explain why you're not okay." The post was immediately linked to Jungkook's earlier statement, and since then, one conclusion began forming in ARMY's minds. Something big was happening. Something that had long been hidden. Something that had finally been discovered. Jungkook didn't specify what he had learned, but in the next interview, he added one sentence that made everything even more personal and emotional. "I thought he was strong. Turns out he was just trying to look strong." That statement was directed straight at Taehyung. With a raspy voice and a blank stare at the camera, Jungkook confessed that he felt guilty for being too focused on himself, too caught up in his new life, and forgetting that someone close to him was carrying a burden alone. While Taehyung remained silent in Paris, his latest social media post only strengthened the circulating speculations. He uploaded a black and white photo of the night sky, accompanied by the sentence, "There are things I can't say, even to the person I trust the most." Many believed the person referred to as Jungkook. Now the public is caught in emotional tension. Jungkook has exposed something that even the closest armies never suspected: that behind Taehyung's smiles and jokes lies a pain he never shared with anyone, not even Jungkook. And the fact that Jungkook only found out now adds another layer of guilt that's no small matter. Some armies and online fan pages began speculating that Jungkook found a letter from Taehyung. Not just any letter. According to one anonymous source, the letter contained Taehyung's heartfelt confession about loneliness, feeling lost, and disappointment from being forgotten, especially by someone who used to be so close. He wrote that "I've changed," Jungkook said briefly, holding his breath. And maybe he's right. That sentence instantly brought many armies to tears. Comments flooded social media, begging for the two to talk in private, not just through emotional codes online. There was sadness, but also anger, not at them, but at the entertainment industry system that often pushes artists to the brink until they forget how to care for one another. Unfortunately, the story only got more complex with rumors that Jungkook was planning to fly to Paris. Some believe he canceled a minor schedule in New York to do so. Nothing has been confirmed by HYB or official representatives, but hopes are rising. Meanwhile, a significant number of fans expressed a wish: Jungkook, go to Paris. This entire narrative then escalated into a larger emotional movement. Video compilations of taekook moments flooded TikTok and X, now viewed through a whole new lens. We never really know what someone is feeling. Taehyung laughed, but who knew behind that smile was loneliness? One viral comment read, "Cultural analysts have described this situation as an emotional earthquake in the BTS fandom." It's no longer just about confession, but about reevaluating how deeply emotions can be buried beneath fame. In the relentless pressure of superstardom, the small things often get forgotten. checking in on a friend, offering a hug, or simply listening. And now, when everything has come to a boiling point, only honesty can open the door to healing. Perhaps this is the time for Taehyung and Jungkook to talk. Not as global icons, but as two friends who once promised to protect each other no matter what. The world may change, schedules may be full, and continents may separate them, but a sincere heart should never lose its way. The world is now watching. And the only question left, will Jungkook take the step? Time will tell. But one thing is certain, Taehyung got caught. Not because of a mistake, but because he hid his pain from the world for far too long, even from the person who cared most. And now that everything has been revealed, maybe this is the beginning of true healing. However, behind all the speculation and overflowing emotions, one crucial thing must be clarified. The news above is not true. While the narrative has spread widely and touched many fans emotionally, the truth is that there is no official statement, no concrete evidence, nor any confirmation from Jungkook, Taehyung, or HYB regarding this supposed confession or any tension between the two. The entire story about Taehyung being caught hiding something and Jungkook revealing something shocking originates from pure emotional interpretation, not journalistic fact. It must be emphasized that video clips, ambiguous social media captions, or an idol's facial expressions cannot be used as the sole basis to construct a large emotional narrative. Sadly, some fans and online media have drawn their own conclusions, using them to craft sensational headlines and build dramatic stories with no real foundation. For example, Jungkook's statement, "I just found out," was indeed said in a casual interview context, but not directly related to Taehyung. When confirmed by the attending media, the actual context was about how Jungkook recently realized the influence of an old song on a new generation of fans. However, since this video clip was circulated without its full context, many interpreted it as a form of regret or personal confession about his relationship with Taehyung. The same thing happened with Taehyung's post on weverse. The sentence, "Sometimes it's easier to fake a smile," is a universal personal expression and doesn't automatically refer to a specific issue. In the K-pop world, idols often write poetic or reflective messages to connect with fans, not always as a code about a specific situation. Yet when these sentences are taken out of context and paired with fan-made theories, then spread without verification, false narratives form and spread rapidly. Even a rumor about a letter from Taehyung found by Jungkook turns out to be merely speculation from a fanfiction account, which was then picked up by some unofficial blogs and turned into what looked like news. There is no evidence of the letter's existence. No confirmation from any credible source. It was just emotional fiction that looked and felt convincing. Unfortunately, stories like this often attract more attention than the actual clarification. Social media spreads dramatic narratives quickly, but is slow to distribute corrections. As a result, many fans end up emotionally carried away, even fighting among themselves online, over a story that was never true to begin with. Hey, fans, we must be critical of every new piece of information. Yes, the relationship between BTS members is very close and often becomes the center of attention, but that doesn't mean every expression should be tied to conflict. Their friendship has been tested for more than a decade, and there is not a single piece of evidence indicating a crack in that bond. In fact, in recent appearances, both Taehyung and Jungkook have shown mutual support. Taehyung once sang Jungkook's solo song spontaneously during a live, and Jungkook has also mentioned Taehyung positively. They are still under the same agency and remain in communication, even though they are currently pursuing different projects and schedules. In conclusion, the story about Taehyung getting caught and Jungkook revealing a secret is merely a result of information distortion, incomplete quotes, and personal interpretations disguised as fact. This serves as an important reminder that in the digital age, information can easily be twisted to match emotional expectations. But as part of an intelligent and caring fan community, we must maintain the line between support and intrusion, between truth and fiction that merely seems too convincing. There is no major tension between Jungkook and Taehyung. There is no big secret hidden and uncovered. What exists is two friends who are now growing on their own paths, still supporting each other, even if not always seen together. So before we believe in a tear-filled narrative that spreads so quickly, ask one simple thing. Is this fact, or just fiction that looks too real? Let's love our idols wisely. Let's protect them not only from haters, but also from waves of misinformation that can damage their reputations and relationships. Because sometimes, what hurts idols the most isn't hate, it's false expectations and narratives created by those who claim to love them.